Happy Friday, y'all. We have made it. We're at NCAA Championship Sunday almost. It's almost here. We're in the height of college football, or college basketball, I'm sorry. How we
College
feeling?
basketball, NBA, NHL,
Everything's
NASCAR's
cooking.
back in action.
Everything's
Formula
cooking.
One's this weekend.
I've been locked into the NASCAR races. It's been fun. We're 4 races in now, right?
Four
Daytona,
races in.
Atlanta,
This weekend will be the
Coda,
fifth. Phoenix,
Phoenix. Yeah, look
Phoenix
at
this
me
past
knowing names
weekend.
and
Yeah.
shit.
So now they're staying out west. They're in Vegas this weekend.
Yeah.
So should be a good race there. First true what they call cookie cutter. It's a mile and a half track, so um, it should be exciting.
What is that in comparison to Atlanta and Daytona?
So Daytona's 2.5 miles. Atlanta is also a mile and a half, but because of the way it's banked and with the repave, they made it a like half of a drafting track. It's like a so it's like Talladega and Daytona in that there's a lot of drafting, but it's smaller. It's only the mile and a half that Atlanta is. Where this is a true mile and a half. Like you have to let off when you go into the corners and start the coast or hit the brakes and then pick back up and accelerate off the corner.
Sweet.
Back
Okay,
to like a
cool.
more pure form of racing, if you will.
Okay,
Um,
interesting. Yeah, it's super weird. Yeah, because for me, it's like, first of all, thought all the tracks were shaped the same. They just were like, I just thought it was all the same. Like they were
it's
all
all
set up the same.
slightly
Yeah, like
different.
yeah, there's
Bankings
so
are
many. Like
different.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
weird. Like, you even said like I'm learning as we go. Like you said about like repaved and shit. So like yeah, if they change it, I watched a TikTok the other day of Dale Earnhardt Jr. talking about how like he doesn't like racing on concrete because concrete shifts and it's put in blocks and he prefers asphalt and he wish it could all be asphalt. Like just like talking about it, I was
Yeah.
like, damn, I was like, that's like a really good point. Like they have their preferences. So it's just like players and stadiums with cities and things
Yep.
like that
It's
too. So
exactly like that.
yeah, like they have their things. You're like, fuck, I'm gonna go out there. Like the food sucks and the track sucks and like yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah. So let's get into. You want to get right into the beef?
Yeah. I think what most people care
Oh
about, even though
yeah,
we talked about all of these sports,
yeah. We ran
and
through
it's
some other
all
shit,
about
but
football.
yeah, holy hell, what a week. That's yeah. I feel like my phone's just been blowing up. It feels like I was part of like a fantasy league, and I just was getting shit where I
Dude.
was like, dude, what the hell is
Yeah.
happening right now?
I
Like,
literally feel like I was like in a Madden league just
yeah.
watching people
You
make
get
trades
Xbox
and how
notifications.
yeah.
Yeah, it's just like, oh, cool, that's interesting. Yeah, that doesn't matter to anybody. Oh no, that's real money and real players moving around right now.
Yeah.
Yes, I mean, just diving right in, probably one of like the biggest, most surprising ones for me anyway was like Miles Garrett re-signing after being like,
Dude,
"Get me the fuck out of here," and then being like, "Brinks truck," and then being like, "Okay, cool, yeah, that's fine." Like that's
uh
so crazy to me.
Brinks truck and Kenny Pickett.
That's so insane to me. That's so insane
And
to
then
me.
he signed.
They
Like, what
said
are we
we're gonna
doing?
keep the team dog shit, and then we're also gonna trade our only decent quarterback to get Kenny Pickett. Like, and we're gonna cut Jameis. So like, yeah,
Yeah.
what a shit show the Browns are as always. So now they just gave all of their money to Miles Garrett, and his career just goes to die. So like, good for him,
Yeah.
generational wealth. Like, good for you, buddy. But
Yeah.
Super Bowl windows are gone. Like
Yeah.
he's gonna chase that on a vet minimum after this contract, basically. Like he'll
Yeah.
show up to a team that just needs a guy. So
That's the thing though. And we'll get into it because there's a ton of teams that have done it this year. They sign these contracts and they're like, yeah, we're gonna cut you
yeah, and
because
it's like
we
you're
want that
paying money
money
out.
back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah,
So
so
I'd
there's
be pretty surprised if he makes it through this contract, but
yeah, that's actually true. But I mean, there's like hella money guaranteed on it though. Like that's
there
the point.
is
Is
no
that
trade
like
clause. Like, yeah,
yeah,
they
like
basically
it's
rolled out everything for this guy, and like
yeah.
rightfully so. He is so good.
He is, but like, what's the
Um,
point? Like, what is the point? Like, you're driving a Ferrari, living in like a homeless shelter. Like, you're pulling
right.
up every day, staying somewhere you're not paying for, eating food you're not paying for. You get in your car, vroom, vroom. Like,
Yeah,
what
in
is
a
the point of
Ferrari
having a
that you
Ferrari?
can't even drive 90% of the year in Cleveland.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah. Like yeah. Exactly. Like yeah. You spend a lot of money on something that you can't really utilize the best. But I mean, hey, that's what the Browns do. That is what the Browns they
yes,
spend it on Deshaun Watson. So like yeah, that's what they do. But yeah. So then Geno Smith traded to the Raiders to reunite with Pete Carroll. Dan Schneider, not Nickelodeon Creeper, but John Schneider. Maybe it is Dan Schneider. Schneider.
Dan
I
was the
know
owner of the
the
Redskins.
Seahawks. No, that's Snyder.
Oh, Schneider, you're right.
Seahawks GM. John Schneider, yeah, so not Dan Schneider. Dan Schneider is the Nickelodeon pervert. So anyway, John Schneider, Seahawks GM, said that they couldn't come to deals with DK and Gino, but didn't want to lose either one of them. So the plan was
Yeah,
to keep both. End up losing Geno to the Raiders with Pete Carroll. So interesting there that Tom Brady probably okayed that and said, yeah, sure, bring in Geno Smith. Like,
Yeah.
he definitely didn't want fucking Gardner Minshew or Aiden O'Connell being the starter. So I guess Geno's definitely an upgrade there. They re signed Max Crosby as well. So that left a hole in the Seahawks, which Sam Darnold goes and takes over. So Sam Darnold to the Seahawks. I didn't think that was going to happen. I thought he was going to stay in Minnesota. Because, like, what's Minnesota doing now?
JJ McCarthy. It's
Yeah,
got
I
to be the
guess that is
plan.
true.
Coming
Yeah,
off
that
an
is
ACL
true.
tear in
And
training
like they know
camp.
better than anybody else, like how he's looking and like what the
Yeah.
plan is and progression and all that shit. So, yeah, I honestly kind of forgot about JJ McCarthy, but like, yeah, that's got to be their whole plan. I just that scares me for like Justin Jefferson. Like that's like we don't want to see his career wasted now either. Like they had this team that's really good and solid. And like I feel like they haven't lost a ton of pieces, but losing Darnold, I mean, again, it's not by a huge piece, but yeah, I guess like,
Here's the
the
thing.
Vikings should be in roughly the same spot.
Yeah, and here's the thing. They know how he's doing. I I am hesitant on JJ McCarthy, and I say that with a heavy heart because I'm a Michigan guy. Like he won us a
Yeah,
national championship, so like I know
yeah.
he can throw the
So yeah,
ball. It
right.
coming out
But
of
he
college,
was
I
playing
don't
for Harbaugh.
right. But coming out of college, he didn't look like the best thrower. But here's the thing about that is Kevin McConnell, out of anyone in the
Yes,
league, has
yes,
proved to us
true.
that he can take any
Any
quarterback
quarterback, any fucking
and make
quarterback you
him
give him,
special.
yeah.
So I
Yeah.
have no problem with this.
Plus, the
I,
draft is still coming up. That's a big part of
right.
all of this. Is that so many things have happened and anything still could happen. Like I saw something that did say that like watch the Browns trade Miles Garrett. They signed him, but they still might trade him. It'll be much harder now with the bag signed. But
Well, the
there
bag and a
could,
no trade clause. So
yeah. So he has to
yeah.
approve. Like yeah. So it's yeah.
And now,
It's
like,
just
there's not that many teams that can take on that contract.
well.
So are they gonna spit some of that money out like the Broncos have been doing with Russ?
Somebody will eventually. I mean, if anybody's gonna make a dumbass decision like that, it's the Browns.
Yeah,
So
you're not wrong.
yeah, I literally, I saw that come through and I had to read it 5 times because I like was waiting for, okay, well, where did he go? I was like, I
Yeah.
get they re-signed him, but it was a sign-in trade. So
Right. Yeah.
where did he end up? And I was like, okay, this isn't clear. Like I had to go to Google and I typed in Miles Garrett trade, and it just was like resign, resign, resign. And I was like, no, I want to know what team he went to, guys. Like you're not explaining
Right.
this correctly. Like I legit had a moment where I was like, a kid literally could not. He just said last week, "Fuck the Browns." There's no way they gave him all the money,
Here
and
he
sure enough, they
is.
did. Yeah, sure
Yeah.
enough, they fucking did. So, yeah. So the Vikings, yeah, that's yeah. JJ McCarthy, I guess hopefully is healthy, and that's going to be the plan there. So, talk to me about your Eagles moves.
We haven't done a whole lot. We
Not a ton.
yeah. So look, uh, the city of Philadelphia overreacts to everything.
Yeah.
Goes both ways. So when we trade CJ to Houston, traded Kenny Pickett to Cleveland, we talked about that. Um, look, these guys, they deserve their money, rightfully so.
Yeah, let them
Darius
get
Slay
paid.
was released and he signed in Pittsburgh,
Yeah, that's
a
great.
1 year deal, 10 mil. Like, we don't have the money to pay him and pay them, I should say. And they
Well,
deserve
not
it.
only that, but you guys have the depth at those positions.
Correct.
Like you guys have a wild cornerback slot. Like
Yeah.
you guys are solid. Like you could let 2 of the big guys go.
Yeah.
It's crazy you
We
let them both
also,
go though. I did not think you were letting them both go. Like
right.
CJ and Darius was a little crazy.
Okay, but here's the thing. We have
You
Sidney
have
Brown.
Reed. Yeah.
So Reed plays the opposite safety, but Sidney Brown will be in his 3rd year in the NFL and he hasn't started yet.
Yeah. I
And he was
always
a
in my
high draft
head
pick
like
coming out of college.
I know corners and safeties are different, but like they have got to be one of the most interchangeable positions. Because like if you're a
Yeah.
safety, the moment they break the 5 to 7 yard line, you're now in play on one-on-one coverage on the receiver. Sometimes they're pressed up anyway. Depends on what coverage are like. They've got to be one of the most like secondary is what I love calling them. Like I feel like linebackers like because it's edge rushers and like field
Yeah.
generals now. Like it's not like what we were used to as kids. It's the art like right outside linebacker level. Like it's all so different now. Um, but yeah, with that being said, I feel like you guys' secondary in general is just so fucking stacked that it's just you just rotate people around in a circle
Yeah.
and like somebody will cover somebody somewhere, and if not, like they might be weak at that position, but they'll make do.
Yeah.
And then I don't know if you saw that pickup, but they got a Dory Jackson. I don't know if you know who that is.
I do, yeah.
Yeah, so it's a solid corner too.
Oh,
I saw that
for
pickup,
sure.
and so I was like, dude, that's legit too.
Yeah.
That's one that's
He
my
came out.
Madden plug for this episode. A couple years ago, I had him in Ultimate Team, and he was a freak, and that's why I even know who he is. Came out of USC and got drafted by the Titans.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a solid pickup. Because if anybody's gonna make him look fantastic, it's fucking you guys.
Yeah.
And also him and you guys' jerseys is just gonna be sick.
And then we picked up Josh Uche from the.
Yep.
He signed a 1 year deal from Kansas City. Jeez, I kept wanting to say Cincinnati, and I'm like, that's not them. That's not them.
I almost said don't forget about Corey Dillon, and then I felt like it was 2005, and we were watching the Patriots. So
Corey Dillon,
of course.
AJ Dillon, yeah. Backup running back. Look, Kenneth Gainwell went and got the bag from the Steelers, so props to him. This is all I have to say, and I know this went pretty viral, but I have to repeat it. The Eagles in the next 3 years have 20 draft picks in the first 4 rounds.
Damn.
They have 32 picks overall, and that's not going to include all the comp picks we get for this year. Because we're going to end up getting comp picks for Darius, Isaiah Rogers, Kenny Gainwell because he went to the Steelers. Like Milton Williams is going to be one because he got the bag up in New England. I don't think Mekhi Becton hasn't signed yet, but he's likely gone as well. And Josh Sweat is the other one on the defensive line. So like we're looking at like 5 to 6 more picks in the 3rd or 4th round as comp picks. Like we have so much depth.
Yeah, you guys could be turning into like a little mini dynasty thing.
Yeah,
like you guys
I just
dynasty killers, and now you're gonna take over. So.
Yeah, I mean, like, look, I get it's hard to repeat, and like, I'm not saying it's gonna happen, but like, there's no reason to think this team shouldn't be good for the next couple years. Like,
no facts.
Even with guys, losing these guys, like.
And like, here's the thing: is you could have that weird off year next year where you go 500 and lose a weird wild card game, but then like the year after you're probably playing the Super Bowl. Like,
right.
Like you guys have such a deep team, and now you have everybody signed for a few years, and you're gonna get that chemistry, and you get all these cool new players and pieces, and I mean, and like losing Slay and CJ is definitely gonna like have a. I think it'll have an early effect. Like I think like the young guys will play fine and do their thing, even though you just won a Super Bowl, but like it might have that like early effect where it's like, oh shit, like we're the grown-ups in the room now, like that kind of thing where it's like they need to lead the charge and do their shit, like it, you know what I mean, like a little bit in the secondary. But you guys had a slow start this year and won the Super Bowl though, so like again, it's not even saying you'll lose, like be bad. It's just like I could see like another rough start where everyone's like, oh, they don't have it again, and then just 11 in a row, like here we go. So
that's the thing, is like when you look at it on paper, we can beat anybody.
Yeah, you match
so, like,
it.
Every
people
game
were doing
you're
that positional matchup with the Chiefs, and if you guys can pretty much beat them, and then also prove that you beat them, like who is then matching up with what you guys got? So you guys just keep.
And that's the thing is like our core starters are all there, like they're all there, every single one of them.
Enough talking about how fucking good your team is. Real quick trivia for you. So I would like it was burned into my brain. We said Corey Dillon, and I like could see him running the ball after he played for the Bengals for all those years. He played for the Patriots, and I was like, who were the other two running backs with him on the Patriots? Like I just could not remember their names, but I could see both of them in my head. Any idea? Can you guess? Mid 2000, he played 2004, 2005, 2006. So it's the 2006 team is what I looked up. Matt Castle and Vinny Testaverde, age 43, was the backup to Tom Brady. They had two other running backs. They had Heath Evans at fullback. They had Chad Jackson and Jabbar Gaffney. Troy Brown at wide receiver. Ben Watson at tight end.
I've got nothing. I can't even picture them.
As soon as I say them, you're gonna be like, they're not like obvious, but like you'll remember the names: Kevin Falk and Lawrence Maroney.
Yep, I sure do.
Dude, I just was like, holy shit! Like I like Lawrence Maroney. Like I was like, I could see him running plays in my head on like a very not high def TV, like a definitely an old box TV in the mid 2000s. Like holy shit.
Let's see.
All right. So then where were we on here? So then so that's pretty much it for the Eagles. Then the Commanders pick up Debo. We went over that last week, I think, though. And then they got Laramie Tunsil. I saw that they were trying to get Ronnie Stanley from the Ravens, but then he re-signed, so they went and got Laramie Tunsil from the Texans, which I don't really know what the fuck the Texans are doing then. So like they made some good trades, kind of, but like haven't really addressed any of the shit that they needed or that they were bad at this year. So that'll be interesting to see. The Bears, the Bears just got somebody else on top of the two offensive linemen that they got. I forget who it was. I just like remembered it as I said that, but Yeah, we talked about the Steelers a little bit. They get DK and Darius Slay, which, if you remember, they had huge beef in that game between Seattle and the Eagles. Just watched a clip of that the other day where Darius Slay was talking about it and was like, "Yeah, like I'm not a shit talker. I don't do that kind of stuff." And he was like, "DK just out of nowhere was like, I'm gonna be out here all night, little boy." And he was like, "What the fuck?" And
Yeah,
he was like, and then like I got pushed out of bounds. And he was like, it just was like all over from there. And so he was like, "Now," and then, yeah, so now they're on the same team in Pittsburgh. But if anybody's gonna keep people in check, it's gonna be Tomlin. So Jonathan Allen, the defensive tackle from the Commanders, goes to the Vikings. Grady Jarrett from Atlanta to that's who it was. Grady Jarrett, I had it on here. Grady Jarrett from Atlanta to the Bears. So
yeah.
Bears hype up defensive line and offensive line. Like they could actually be kind of good this year. Like that would be really like they started out. I think it was what like 4-2 or whatever, and then lost every game for the rest of the season. So
Yeah.
um, Bills re-signed Rousseau and DeMar Hamlin. They cut Von Miller though. They also picked up Joey Bosa, so Joey Bosa lands in Buffalo, which is a crazy choice to
We
go from
talked
Los
about that.
Angeles to Buffalo. But I mean, I guess you're ring chasing. I guess what would be crazy is if the Chargers beat the Bills in the playoffs this year. That would be so wild, like a wild card situation, and Bosa fucking
Yeah.
loses to the Chargers. Justin Fields to the Jets, and from what I've seen, literally nobody else. So the Jets are going to be just as dog shit as before. It's just, it was Garrett Wilson saying, "Hey, I played with Justin Fields at Ohio State. Please go hire him." And they went and got him, and here we are. So
So why do I feel like every time the Jets need a position, one of their players is like, "I want this guy," and then they go and get him
and
every
they're
single
just like,
time.
"Yep,"
And
and
then
they're
they're
like,
like,
"That's
"I
fine.
don't know
Yep."
why it didn't work."
I
Like,
don't know what went wrong. I
yeah,
have no
here's an
idea what went
idea.
wrong.
You didn't go get the best available. Like, what are we
Yep. So
doing?
yeah, so that's crazy. This is a good segment that you'll love. The Cowboys suck.
They do.
They're just dog shit. They lost Jordan Lewis to the Jaguars. They lost Dexter Lawrence to the Seahawks. They lost Cooper Rush and Trey Lance. They're both
Hmm.
free agents now, so they have nobody but an injured Dak Prescott coming back. So, do they draft a quarterback this year and make things real interesting after they just paid Dak? Like, this is just what a dog shit franchise.
That's the thing. They
Um,
don't have any money either.
yeah, like they're
They're
just stuck. Yeah,
broke.
they're right out of Jerry's pocket at this point. The Broncos, we got Hufanga and Dre Greenlaw, which both are solid players, and like all the grades I saw were like hyping it up. I just Greenlaw was one of Torrey's Achilles in the Super Bowl 2 years
Hmm.
ago, and so it's just like shit like that like makes me nervous. But I mean, having them on defense, like we have like the John Lynch Broncos 49ers ties, like there's always those. We always have players
Yeah.
back and forth. So yeah, I'm not mad at it. Like that's solid. Then we got Evan Ingram for offense. So, like we have a solid like actual catching tight end again, which is sick. Like he might be a little past his prime, but better
I
than nothing.
did want to mention this. Sorry to interrupt, but we
No,
did
do it.
briefly
Do it.
touch on Fields going to
The
New
Jets.
York. Yeah.
Yep.
I don't see the other New York team in here anywhere. But Joe
Oh yeah.
Flacco made a visit to the Giants today.
Oh shit.
So um, they still have not signed a quarterback yet, but Joe
Dude,
Flacco
Joe Flacco to the
did
Giants.
visit
He's
the
so
Giants.
happy. He's got to be one of my favorite quarterbacks of all time.
So,
So
I know.
that would be, yeah, that would be so sick. I did not see that. I'm glad you said that.
Yeah.
um, I also wanted to apologize to myself and Bronco fans because I talked so much shit about their offensive line. I was curious the other day. I was just like fucking around looking at like longest tenured players. Our five offensive linemen are the longest tenured players. Those five in Cortland Sutton are the six players we've had the longest on the team. And so I was like, okay, so this is the year that they get shit together then, because like Garrett Bowles is legit. He just holds the fuck out of people. And Quinn Miernes, Madden plug, was like top diamond card whatever last year. So I was like, that dude's got to be fucking good. And then like started paying attention, was like, oh, that dude's a monster. So we have like a legit line now, and so like we might actually just maybe be good this year. Who knows? So yeah, so I basically was gonna say we could use our draft pick on Genti, and I wouldn't actually hate it now. Like if we go get like a playmaker, like I'm not totally mad at that now because like we do actually have a line. Our defense is legit. We added players on defense. Like things are looking good. So
Yeah. I did
we
want to
shall
interrupt
see.
you because we talked about the Cowboys. Um,
They're
just a
dog shit.
quick note on them. Zach Martin retired. Dude
Oh, that's
has
right.
more
More, yes,
Pro
that's
Bowls than
insane.
holding calls in his
And
career.
thanked John Gruden for it. Said that
Yeah.
he fucking criticized him as like a rookie and was like, "Yes, sir," and just
Yeah.
never fucking held ever again. It was just
Yeah.
like, "You got it, sir."
Yeah. I just saw
Um,
that and I was like, damn, that's
yeah, that's
wild.
insane. Speaking of we're jumping all around here. That's kind of actually it's only the next line. Puna Ford. I've never even heard that name, and then once I saw it in this video, I like kind of recognized it, but it didn't make sense because when you're talking about the Chargers defense, you're thinking of Bosa and
Sure.
Mack and their corners, everybody else. Kelsey was on.
Just a quick break. Khalil Mack did sign back with not San Diego, the Los Angeles Chargers. So he stays down there. And
All right, I'm back. So Puna Ford is Kelsey's on a podcast with I forget who it was actually. Now that I'm thinking about it, oh, it's PMT, but I didn't even hear it in PMT. I just saw it on TikTok. Puna Ford or Jason Kelsey was on there, and they were like, "Who's the guy that like gave you problems?" And he was like, well, like Aaron Donald. The guy's a fucking freak." And he was like, "They were like, okay, well, like, duh." And he was like, "Yeah, honestly, he's like, he always like picked on the guards, so like I kind of got out of that, like, thank God, because like he
yeah,
played nose tackle, but like went to the sides, like didn't bum rush, like always swam move. He was like, we're like played outside." And he like went through a couple other players. And he was like, honestly, he's like the number one guy. He's like the guys that give you the most trouble. Are backup nose tackles because they're just hungry to play and they're fresh and they come in and you're just fucking ready to snap the ball and they're fucking hot. And he said basically like if they're bigger than him, he typically has longer arms, so he can kind of get underneath and get the shove on them. But if they're smaller, he typically, or if they're bigger, he can get underneath. But if they're smaller, he has longer arms, so he can keep them. So he was like, I'm kind of always in a good position. He was like, guys that are smaller than me but have longer arms than I do, I can't do shit. He was like, because they get up underneath me and I can't get down low. Like the physics don't work. And so Puna Ford was the name that he had mentioned. And so Puna Ford
interesting.
went to the Rams. But yeah, so I was talking about that. So I was talking about the Chargers defense. That's what made it pop in my head with the Puna Ford thing and the Kelsey stopper with who else were we just talking about? Zach Martin retiring. That's what I was thinking of. You
Yeah.
said about Zach Martin retiring, made me think of Jason Kelsey, and that's what I was thinking about that. But yeah, so he said Puna Ford, and I happened to see that. So Puna Ford is down on the Rams, so they have a legit D tackle out there that people don't really know about.
Interesting.
Yeah, the 49ers lost Shavarius Ward to the Colts. Shavarius Ward said he had to get the hell out of San Francisco. So it sounds like San Francisco's kind of in for a rough couple years because they did not have a good year this year. They lost a lot
Yeah.
of pieces, and now what? Like I don't know that they're going to be in a good spot.
Everybody
For a
was
little bit.
old, and
Yeah, and everybody was paid, and now
yeah,
what?
yeah, exactly. Your Super Bowl window basically closed, and now you got to deal with it for the next couple
Yep.
of years.
Yeah.
So,
So that
so it
that'll be
happens.
interesting. But
If I said
yeah,
I was
so
sad about it, I'd be lying.
no, yeah, I couldn't care less. I as a Mike Shanahan lover, like just kind of want to see Kyle Shanahan do well, but also he has like zero ties truly to the Broncos. So, like I could give a fuck about
Yeah,
Shanahan. Lynch is really what I care about out there. It's like like I'd like to see John Lynch do well, but like not at that expense of wanting the 49ers to do well.
yeah.
Like that's not enough for all that. The Danny Dimes to the Colts, so the Colts get a real quarterback. I guess
Do they?
that's so crazy. No, but yeah, the Rams get Devontae Adams, and then Puna Ford, of course. Just talked about
Who do you
that.
think starts in Indy? Do you start Danny Dimes or Anthony Richardson?
I
Tough question, right?
yeah, I bet that they don't know. I bet they have
Oh,
no idea.
I'd agree with that.
Yeah, I bet they're like fucking let training camp and preseason figure it out because we don't know who's their backup to that. It was Jacoby Brissett still, right?
No, it was
I don't know
Joe
if he's
Flacco.
still there. Oh, that's right. It was Flacco.
Yeah,
For a little
Flacco
bit
was their backup last season.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Dude, what a shit show there too. Yeah, but sorry, Kev Dog.
Yeah.
Also, Golden State game started. They have 17 already. I don't know if Steph has 2 threes or not. Crazy.
Spoiler alert.
Anyway, what else we got on here? Saw Gardner Minshew went to the Chiefs. Mason Rudolph back in Pittsburgh. Watch Mason Rudolph be their starting quarterback heading into the season because they don't have Justin Fields or Russell Wilson. Like, how fucking insane would that be? You guys lost Josh Sweat out to Arizona. We mentioned earlier Ronnie Stanley stays in Baltimore. I did see Patty Mahomes restructured so that the Chiefs could keep Trey Smith, Nick Bolton, and Hollywood Brown. So like that's pretty cool. Good for him. Making
Steph is
hundreds of
one
million
on
dollars.
3-pointers so far. So his
Love
next
that.
one
Okay.
hits 4,000.
Oh, you just hit it.
Damn, I didn't even have a chance to get it on.
Wait, is that because they just had 17? Now they have 20. So I think he just did it. What's the score on the thing you're looking at?
23-11.
Oh damn, it's 20-9 for me. Maybe they just showed me his 1-for-1, so maybe he still is 1-for-1. Why am I back so far? What the fuck?
I'm back that far as well. Maybe it's on tape delay.
Ghetto. YouTube TV, step your shit up.
That wasn't Steph.
Oh my
I hit
god.
that
You know
three. Oh, Steph's now 1 for 2 on 3-pointers, so he missed one.
well, you know what's crazy is I was watching it on TV and forgot that I had it on the computer here in front of me. I was listening to it through the computer and had it on the TV. That was insane. I was like, wait a minute, why am I not listening? This is such a trippy experience. Okay, anyway, back to the episode. Sorry, yeah, we want to see Steph hit 4,000 threes, but this is the 4,003 episode, hopefully. But yeah, Patty Mahomes restructures. Najee Harris, the Steelers do lose him, so their running game's kind of a little weird now. I can't believe he left Pittsburgh. Oh, he missed that one. Yeah, everyone's like hyped up when he's shooting now. It's 23-11 with 4 minutes to go for me. So yeah, they're all like every time he picks up, they're all like, oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, Najee Harris was kind of a surprise. I hate.
Oh my goodness.
I hate Matt Collins to New England, the barefoot receiver out of UNC to Buffalo.
Yeah.
Because I feel like the Patriots, out of all franchises, the killer personality is going to be them. Like, and I love that dude. Like, I just want him to go.
You think
all the time.
Okay, so I think
I guess
it might
not.
be
It's not
different with Vrabel
Belichick
up
era.
there.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I just have like that. It's still Kraft, so it's still the old white guy fucking waddling around. And like, dude, did you see the fucking pictures of their weight room?
No.
The grades came out with like the team, like team travel, team this, team flights, whatever. Like, yeah, all the grades and shit. New England's like weight room grade was like a F- or some shit, and they showed a picture of theirs compared to like the Rams, and the Rams is like this fucking state of the art facility with like touchscreen saunas and all this shit. New England's weight room is legitimately like a high school weight room. It is like strictly weights, miscolored plates. Like there's like a yellow 25 and a blue 50. Like they did like it like
the Facebook Marketplace special.
Legit, it looks like someone set up like a fucking home gym, and it was what. To be fair, I did not double research this, but it did seem like it was coming from a reputable source, and so I was like, that's kind of crazy. But like, in all the comments too, no one was like, haha, lol. Like it was all like, yeah, that's fucking crazy. But but yeah, so New England, yeah, Matt Collins there, and then I saw that the Saints re-signed Chase Young, but at injury risk and also with a fucking bag that they don't have, which we talked about in the group chat, or you guys did the other day. But they did get Justin Reed and Jawan Johnson, but probably not enough to save them.
Yeah, they're gonna still need a lot of help. They're rebuilding though, so
it's gonna be a few years.
Yeah, exactly.
Their car's there to die. Free agents. Holy shit. Aaron Rodgers, Russell Wilson, Cooper Kupp, Von Miller, Tyler Lockett, Trey Lance, Cooper Rush, Jameis Winston, Kareem Hunt, Nick Chubb, J.K. Dobbins, Miles Sanders, Kyle, whatever the fuck, Juszczyk, Stephon Diggs, Amari Cooper, Keenan Allen, Tyler Conklin, Cam Robinson, Darius Smith, Dante Fowler Jr., Matthew Judon, Calais Campbell, Eric Kendricks, Stephon Gilmore, Asante Samuel Jr., and Justin Simmons. Just to name a few. I was really looking earlier because that was one of the last things where I said I'm ready, and I was like, wait, hold on, because I was like, all right, A-Rod, Russ, and then I was like, oh yeah, Vaughn and Lockett. Oh shit, that's right, they released Cooper Kupp, and I was like, who else got released? I started looking through, and I was like, holy shit, dude, like. No, a lot of these guys could get re-signed, but like they are all technical unrestricted free agents. So like some of them might not. So like, holy shit, what a list! I feel like this is some Madden shit too. So
yeah, I mean, there's still a lot to fall into place. We're 40 days away from the NFL draft, so I expect some fireworks around that as well.
It's just been going so far.
Yeah. So and I'm here for it. Like let's
where
do
did we
this
say
shit.
it is this year?
So New York? Question mark.
Lambeau Field. Yuck.
Just kidding.
Hard pass. Hard pass.
Green Bay in April. This will be snow there.
Facts. Okay, you can go ice fishing.
Yeah.
I talked to a guy about ice fishing the other day and accidentally made a comment like I knew what I was talking about. And then he replied like he knew exactly what he was talking about. He lives in Minnesota. And I was like, wait, time out. I was like, I was guessing when I said those numbers, so please don't think that I know what I'm talking about. Because I said something about like, yeah, my buddy's always super excited about ice fishing. So like as soon as it's like 6 or 8 inches or whatever, he's out there with his truck. And he was like, wow, that's surprising. He can bring his truck out with 8 inches. He was like, up here. And I was like, wait, no. I was like, those are hypotheticals. Those are hypotheticals. And he was like, yeah, my dad and brother take their camper out on 12 or 10, blah, blah. And I was like, I don't know what I'm talking about. Those are hypotheticals. And I was like, I was just saying that he references certain numbers and how deep the ice is and what he can do if he's walking or driving or camping. I was like, that was what I meant. He was like, oh, okay. He was like, those are just like kind of accurate. So I was like, no, those were guesses. And I was like, I have no idea what I'm talking about. Yeah, so he
Fair
responded
enough.
right away and like questioned me. And I was like, no, time out. I was like, I'm not trying to sound like I know what I'm talking about, nor was I trying to lie. I was
I'm a
like, no,
fake. I'm a fake.
yeah, I was like, I tried to say that as sarcastic as possible. And he goes, yeah, no, I live in Minnesota, so I'm pretty familiar with ice fishing. And I was like, no. And then he goes, yeah, my dad and brother are part of the union. They do something, and they're off. They're masons.
Mm,
Masons.
Masons. Yeah.
And they're off for the whole winter. They're off like September to April.
Yeah.
And they ice fish all summer, like all winter long. That's all
Yeah.
they do. They work their ass off all summer and then just go ice fishing. He was like, they legit will go up for like 3 or 4 days, come home, get a meal, shower, sleep, go up, wake up the next day, eat lunch, and then dip out and go do it again for 3 or 4 days. And I was like, that sounds like my buddy's dream. I was like, you're describing what he wants to do for the rest of his life. And I was like, that sounds about right.
Yeah.
So I was talking about you and your ice fishing escapades the other day.
Fair enough. Appreciate that. So to wrap up the NFL, the Lombardi Trophy is officially been cleaned by Tiffany and Company and put in the case in Philadelphia. So after it makes its rounds with all the star players and all that fun stuff, they send it out to Tiffany to get it repolished. And I think the final engraving is also there, where they put in the score and stuff like that, and then it comes home and thrown in a case.
I was about to talk shit and was like, Tiffany and Co. ain't got shit. They probably are some new bullshit, blah, 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 blah. Since 1991.
What? Do you know who that is?
Who?
Tiffany and Co.?
No, I do, but like, I felt like it was a very separate world. Like, I'm surprised that they were tied. Like, Kim Kardashian's Skims line signing with the NBA was crazy at first, but it was like, all right, the NBA tries to be modern and hip. That makes sense. The NFL being part of like a fancy jewelry thing, like, I guess that makes sense, but I don't know. It didn't strike me as old, cringy white guy. Like, where did an old, cringy white lady get in there to sign Tiffany and Co.? I saw that unveiling of the Tiffany. Yeah, I don't know. Like, Tiffany and Co. just did not strike me as one. So I was like, oh, that's probably like a recent thing in the last like 5 or 10 years. But no, they did that shit in 1991.
I would bet the company's owned by an old white guy, and that's probably where it came from.
Yeah, I guess that's true. I think Tiffany and Co. and I think it's a woman, but it's probably not. Yeah, you're right. Good job.
Probably an old white guy in New York City.
Yeah. You're right. Oh, I think I read that wrong. I think that they've been doing it for a lot longer.
Great. Cool.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So they've been around for a long time. They've been doing trophies and shit. Apparently, that's what they are. Like fucking, they've been doing trophies. The PGA Tour, NBA, NFL.
Yeah.
Damn,
I'm sure they do a lot of them. Yeah.
Tiffany and Co.
They are probably like the jewelers / metal purchased.
In the world, yeah. There's an Office scene with that. I'm gonna send you later. I really need you to watch it. It's a really dumb random. It's a really dumb random rant that Dwight has about like a woman, and he's like, and I meet her, and I go here, and it's a Tiffany chandelier. And it goes on and on. It's so stupid.
So anyway. we discussed it earlier. Steph is now 1 3-pointer away. He's not in the game right now. From 4,000, which is just wild. The next closest player is James Harden at just over 3,000. So
and then you got Reggie Miller and Ray Allen, so 2 inactive players at 3 and 4, and I think it's Damian Lillard at 5th, if I remember correctly. And so so you have active players up there, and 3 out of 5 are active, but they're fucking so far away. Like, it's especially at this point in Dame's career, like. Yeah, that's another one of those records where you look at it and you go, I don't know that that's ever really going to be touched. Like, James Harden to have to put up another third leg of his, like, a 33% of the career he's already done on top of what he's done to catch Steph, and Steph still probably has 3 or 4 years. Like, that's in, like, those 2 or 3 years where he just hit, like, that insane number of, like, he rewrote the record books for threes. Like, prior to that time, it was Ray Allen, Reggie Miller over everything, and now it is just Steph. So, like, yeah, kudos to Steph for fucking changing the game and proving threes matter. But yeah, what a crazy career at this point. We had 4,003 is nuts. That's like the LeBron, like the 50,000 points at minimum is 25,000 live game layups. So like, think about how many layups he's hit just in practice and at home
Right.
and in gyms. Think about how many fucking threes Steph shot. Like, hit, like somebody said that before, where they're like, if you see everyone he makes, he's shot like 104.
Yeah.
Like there's 100 practice shots for everyone he makes. So like, yeah, that man has put some fucking balls
Right.
in some hoops. Like that's crazy. Also for the NBA though, De'Aaron Fox for the Spurs, who just got traded there, is out for the season for surgery on his pinky, which strikes me as a hey, Wemby's out with the blood clot. That was also something I don't know if we talked about last time, but
We
Wemby
did.
had a random blood clot.
Yeah.
So yeah, so he's out.
That was a while ago now.
Um, yeah, for some reason I couldn't remember if we talked about it or not. I feel like the Spurs are just kind of shutting it down. They lost Pop, they lost him, so yeah,
Right.
Chris Paul's probably gonna chill and play for a little bit. But I'm hoping
Get a
that
better
he's
draft
back
pick.
next year. Yeah, get a better draft pick, kind of fuck around and just come back next year stronger.
Shit, Cooper Flag gonna fall to him.
Dude, that'd be crazy. Especially the injury now. People are gonna be like, "Oh, he might be injured." Pop probably called him and said, "Roll your ankle." And the ACC tournament, I'll get you next year. He said, "Okay, okay." So yeah, so that'd be crazy. So Cooper Flag going to some crazy team would be wild. But the Mavs owner doubled down on his stupidity and basically said that like trading Luka was like a smart move for the future and whatever. And everyone was like, "You have a legitimate superstar already, and you traded him for the chance of superstar."
Right.
Teams do that when they don't already have a superstar. Like you trade for the chance when you don't have one. You don't trade this thing. You don't trade a star for the chance at another star. Like that's just like it just yeah. Like his statement did made no sense, and it just realized how fucking dumb they were. And that's probably why Cuban sold. Was probably because like him and his logic and shit was getting forced out. And he was like, okay, get me the hell out of here.
Yeah.
So
I definitely agree with
um,
that.
talk to me about Southwest. Oh yeah, I said New York
So
Giants earlier. You said I don't see the other New York team in here, and I almost said I know I typed NYG at one point, and that's where it was. It was in the
yeah.
NBA news, not the NFL. But
Yeah.
yeah, talk to me
Is it
about
the
Southwest.
are they the NBA's version of the New York Giants or the NBA's version of the Cleveland Browns?
Probably the Giants because they actually have like star players. It's like I
They
said the
also have the
Giants.
championships where Cleveland doesn't have shit.
True. I was also more or less thinking about the fact that uh the Giants had that video and all the Hard Knocks shit and
Oh
all the
yeah.
tapes and all the clips. Now the Mavs are just out here posting shit. You get and like whenever the Mavs were in LA, Nico was watching Luca warm up, and like his wife was talking to him, and you could see that he just like turned his head and watched Luca shoot. Was not listening to her at all. And turned back around, was like, "What?" And so like yeah, so it's just not a good look for them. Like the social
Yeah.
media side of it made it similar.
Yeah. So I don't know if you saw recently, but Southwest announced that they were no longer allowing free bags. And so they've just been getting trashed on the internet by pretty much everybody, which is hilarious. But they tweeted today, at least we didn't trade Luca.
That's actually fucking funny.
And like the internet went wild over it.
Yeah, everyone's probably like, okay, fair, I'll pay for my bag. It's
Yeah,
like that's
exactly.
the shit where you're like, okay, fair enough.
Yeah. So
Do
yeah,
you
it was
know?
just
I've
like,
never looked into it. I just always see it and go, "That's insane." What is the deal with the Wendy's social media account?
dude, they're wild.
I see that shit all the time, and I'm like,
Yeah.
"Is it actually Wendy's, or like, is there
Yeah.
like a weird lawsuit going on where like they gave the rights to some kid and he worded his contract right
No,
and
their
took over like?"
social media team fucking put
It's
some
just
things on
yeah,
blast.
like dude, there is like I've seen some of those and I'm just like what and like other companies have like tried to get in. I've seen like Domino's posting some memes recently and
Yeah.
shit, and it's just like you leave it to Wendy's at this point. Like everyone else, it just looks weird even trying, and it's like just stick to normal professional like advertising and let Wendy's handle the off the rails insane shit.
Yeah, it's so crazy because it's such a fine edge there as to which
Yeah,
side of the knife you're falling on.
yeah,
And
that's a weird
like,
spot to
yeah,
be.
Wendy's has been doing it right. Southwest does it okay. Like every now and then a company will did it.
Yeah,
I have noticed Domino's a lot more recently
yeah, I see that popping up in my
getting
Facebook
in
feed a
shit,
lot
and I'm
recently, and I'm
like,
like, damn,
all
like
right, I'm
memes
here
and
for
stuff.
it. I love it.
I am here for it. Yeah, like it's a moment of cringe, but I definitely laugh. But I also, to be fair, actually, I don't even want to say that because I hate the idea of like commercials having to be like professional. Like I want to see somebody pop up like Ricky Bobby. If you don't like Big Red chewing gum, then fuck you. Like you give me a shit like that, I'm in the car going to buy Big Red now. Like
Yeah,
I want commercials like that. I miss old commercials. Like
right.
yeah, I want legitimate, genuine and things happening. So
Yeah.
last thing I guess for NBA because I mean yeah we talked about it last time. We're a little over 3/4 of the way through the season now. We have like 15ish, 18 games left. Um, Same teams are pretty much still running it. Thunder, Cavs, Celtics. Like we're all kind of still at the
Can
top. We
Sorry to interrupt. Can we just discuss? Could you imagine living in Sacramento and not being at this game? They're
Yeah,
in
what's that?
they're in between the quarters, so they're doing interviews and stuff, and they're showing the stands, and like there's a lot of empty seats in that stadium.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, how?
How I be
Like,
tracking that shit? That's what I'm saying. Like I watched LeBron. Like I tried to get me and John to go to LeBron's fucking record breaking. I tracked it 2 months in advance and was like, let's go to New York for it. Like
yeah,
I live in Sacramento, dude. If I lived in a city, like I could not imagine. I'd be there every goddamn night. I would
yeah,
just be hanging outside the stadium watching shit on the TVs outside, like chilling with local fans and stuff. Like I'd set
like,
up I'd
yeah,
tailgate every fucking day of my life if I lived in a major city with a team.
yeah. No,
It's
I
the only reason
agree.
I've ever felt like I wanted to move to
But still,
Philadelphia in
like,
my life.
oh my gosh, Steph and like
Yeah,
empty
you have a chance to
seats
see
to this
Steph.
this game is just wild,
Yeah, four
just
thousand for you
absolutely
just to be able
wild.
to be like, hey, yeah, I was at
Oh,
that game.
sorry, they're
That's
not even
crazy.
in Sacramento. They're in
Oh my
San
god,
Fran
they
right now.
are.
Yeah,
I
so
didn't
they're at
even look.
home
I
and
just
there's
kind of
empty
trusted you. They're at
seats.
home and there's hella empty seats. That's
Yeah,
wild as fuck, actually. And it's a TNT game. It's a primetime game.
yeah. This just gets wilder.
Yeah, Jesus.
What's going on here,
It's
guys?
oh my god. Oh, they're giving free tickets. No one took them.
Anyways,
Anyway,
LeBron's
last thing.
injury.
Yeah, LeBron. Because you can't talk about the NBA if you don't mention LeBron. LeBron has a groin injury. Came down weird on a layup, or a defense on a Jason Tatum layup, and got a groin injury. Like a day later, it was weird that they made the news, and it made me feel like it was one to get another situation where they're like, hey, he's about to fly to Germany and come back and be a lot better. Don't think anything of it, because they were like he returned to LA immediately to start like like treatment or whatever, and it was like, why did they announce that? Like usually they just kind of handle that, but
Yeah,
like it should have been assumed that he was leaving the road trip to go home, but like they made a point of saying it, so then it was like, okay, that was weird. So I'm sure LeBron's going to Wakanda to get fucking dipped in some magic juice, and he'll be back soon. But
fair
I
enough.
mean, yeah, he really does not have legitimate injuries, and if he does, like they're just the kid usually is like sprained ankles, and he's back in a game or two. So like a legitimate LeBron injury is like kind of weird, and it really was a moment of like, oh no, he's getting old. Like the dude is fucking 40, he's got grays. Like no wonder he's rolling shit.
Yeah,
So,
they're
um,
really only a game and a half back of the 2 seed, and the Grizzlies and Nuggets are ahead of them, tied.
who?
The Lakers.
We're in the 4 seed.
Yeah, they're the 4 seed right now, a game and a half
Damn.
back of the Grizzlies for second. The
Damn, that's
Grizzlies and
actually
Denver.
crazy.
So like, I guess I mean that's a lot to put on Luca, but like he can do it. Um,
Dude, 4 seed's actually nuts. Like, that's fucking wild. I did
yeah,
not realize that they were in that spot.
yeah. So
That's so funny, too, that they're 40 and 24, and the Rockets are 41 and 25, but they're in fourth.
yeah,
Because it goes by win percentage and not wins.
so it's gonna be interesting to see how these final 20-ish games,
Yeah.
18 to 16 to 20, depending on who you are, shake out.
Cool. Yep. All right. Baseball. Still waiting on March 18th. Regular season finally starts. All this spring training warm up bullshit. I don't care. Talk to me about NHL.
Let's be honest here. Even when regular season
Dude,
starts, we're still not gonna
I
care.
talked to somebody about it the other day, and I was talking to somebody in the office, and I said something. I was like, "Yeah, in baseball." And she's like, "Oh, baseball season starts soon." I said, "Yeah, I could just do with less games." And she was like, "No, are you kidding me? I hate when people say that. It just means there's more baseball on TV." And I was like, "Yeah, but like you're not even watching the starting lineup every night." And I was like, "What the fuck is the point?" And I was like,
Yeah,
I technically have that too with all the sports I like. I could go watch the XFL and the G League if I want more teams to play and watch more players. But like, if you want the best of the best to play, you need a finite amount of games, no matter what sport it is. Like,
right.
that's just how it is. So, yeah, that's just such a silly thing. But anyway, so yeah, no one cares.
160,
62,
180,
164,
something
something
like
like that.
that.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
something crazy. That's way too fucking many.
yeah.
Like people talk about the NBA being too many. It's at 82, and the MLB is double that. And they're like,
Right.
"Shh, don't fucking, don't look at us.
It's
Don't look at us." Like they
it's
just
how
back
it's
into
always
the bush.
been.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. It's so dumb. It's crazy.
Two things though. Ovi's game just started. They play in LA tonight as well. He's 17 games, including tonight's game. He has 8 goals away from the record. I don't think he's scored yet. Let
He's
me
gonna
check
get all
that.
8 tonight.
I don't think that's gonna happen yet. It's still 0-0 in their game. Um, so
Yeah.
eight goals away from tying Gretzky at 894 goals. 17 games left, so good for him. The Seattle Kraken, fairly new team, but Brandon Montour set the NHL record for the fastest goal in overtime with 4 seconds.
Damn.
It was just
So
kind of
just right out of
crazy.
what's it called? Puck drop?
Face off.
Face off.
Yeah. So the face off there, just like so overtime now in the NHL is 3-on-3, and it just kind of like squirted out, and he had a 1-on-1 with the goalie and just put it up over his shoulder, and that was that.
That was
The
that.
game.
Imagine the emotions and shit in that where you're like, all right, guys, come on, lock in, overtime, bang. Hey, we
Right.
lost.
Yeah.
Wait, what the fuck?
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
wait a minute.
Yeah. So.
Come on, guys, lock the fuck in. We lost. Huh? I didn't even get my speech out yet.
Help me
He
with.
plays for the, eventually he plays for the Capitals, right? Caps
Correct.
pregame, Monumental Sports Network.
Yeah.
YouTube TV gonna hook me up. You're gonna bless me for the $1 billion I give you a month.
So yeah, that kind of is really the only thing I mentioned in the NHL. The playoffs are coming to that too, but with not having any local teams in it, the Flyers and Penguins are fighting for the worst team in the Metropolitan Division right now, and possibly the conference. No, the Sabres are below both of them, so not quite yet.
Flyers Penguins is like Eagles Cowboys too, so like you guys talk shit
right.
to each other no matter what, but this is like one of those years where they're both dog shit, so it's
Yeah.
just like extra hilarious.
Yeah. And it's just like so sad. So I don't know. I will watch the playoffs, but I'm not gonna watch too much of it. I'll probably honestly be rooting for Ovechkin, just because
me too.
That's like the next closest local team. So we'll see what happens there. Wrap up the NHL. Move into some college basketball.
You see Cooper Flag rolling ankle today?
Yeah, in a wheelchair.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, so he said he won't be back. Shiner said he won't be back for the tournament, which is like the ACC tournament, because they want to prep for the NCAA tournament, which of course makes sense.
Yeah.
However, UNC, RJ Davis rolled the fuck out of his ankle late in the game, and they were even talking about, like, the announcers were like, yeah, this is just like Cooper Flag earlier, except for Cooper Flag is definitely playing in the tournament, and UNC needs to win this game, or this is RJ Davis's last game as a senior. So, yeah, he ended up balling the fuck out. We were like 1 for 15 in shots at that point, and had to. He hit like a couple of threes late in the game, and we were down 2 with like 7 minutes to go, and went on like a 14-2 run or some shit like that. So we ended up locking it up and getting that win. So we play Duke tomorrow night at 7 p.m.
We do play Duke. And then also tomorrow night, Michigan takes on the winner of USC Purdue, which is on right now. Second quarter or second half, sorry. USC is up on Purdue 56-52. I think they were tied 35-35 at half, so fairly high score in second half already. But the winner of that team goes on to play Michigan tomorrow. That's a late game in the Big Ten too. So that's exciting. So yeah, March 16th, this Sunday. So it's like championship weekend, man. Like tomorrow you're gonna have the semis. Saturday quarters, semis, finals.
Quarters, semis, finals.
Yeah.
So it'll be fun, and then we got Selection Sunday the very following. So it's all happening. It's fun. It's here. Also, I was talking about Joe earlier, and I was like, we were watching basketball, and he was like, when's Penn State play? And I was like, oh, let's go check. And I went to go look, and I was like, oh, that game we watched Saturday was our last game. And I was like, there's no NIT or NCAA for them. It's over. And he was just like, oh. And he's like, what else does Penn State do now? And I was like, swimming?
Wrestling?
Baseball? Wrestling? Yeah.
So like, we don't talk about it a whole ton, but it's huge up here. Penn State wrestling.
Wild,
they just had the Big Ten championships. Penn State won again. So nationals, I think, are 2 weekends from now.
That'd be something I would definitely be.
It's in Philly, for what it's worth.
Okay. Penn State Wrestling Nationals.
But they're gonna have probably 12 weight classes. They're probably gonna have 12 guys there, if not more. So,
that'd be shit. I would take the kids too.
Yeah, they're at the Wells Fargo Center this year. They go around the country, so it's Wells Fargo, Cleveland,
that's crazy.
But yeah, they've won the last 3 national championships. Really, it's closer to like 7 because Iowa technically won, but it was the like post-COVID year, so it's like who really won, kind of thing. Like not everybody was there, that kind of stuff. Um,
Minimum ticket price is $300.
that okay, so but that's for all the sessions. That gets you in all weekend.
I don't think so. I'm looking at Saturday, March 22nd at 7 p.m.
Oh, yeah,
on
that would check out.
Ticketmaster.
Because
Holy
Saturday,
fuck, dude!
Saturday would
We
well,
are
that
talking
is
lowest ticket price. This is the championship round, but
that'd be the semifinal. But yeah,
I don't think so. That's the
championship should
last
be
one on
Sunday,
here.
right?
No, that starts Thursday at 7, Friday at noon, Friday at 8, Saturday at
Oh,
11,
okay.
Saturday at 7.
You're right. You're right.
God damn, that
Yeah.
got me white lady heart on my chest, hand
Oh,
on my chest.
dude,
Holy man.
wrestling
I was
is
expecting like
wild.
$80 so I could just take the boys down and go see some shit. But God,
Maybe Thursday.
damn, dude. Yeah,
Yeah.
so I'm looking at now, Thursday at 7 p.m.
No. Wrestling
50 bucks a
is
ticket. Holy
yeah.
fuck, dude.
Uh,
That's crazy. See, that's the dumb shit though. Is like that place won't sell out. So like, if I could just show up that day and be like, "I'll give you $20, just let me and my kids in." Like, why not?
Yeah.
Like, because the shit ain't gonna sell out. Because there's hell. Like half the stadium is still for sale, and the minimum ticket is $300.
yeah.
That is fucking bananas. I definitely expected like 40 or $50 even for the championship round. I was like, yeah, that might be worth it. That'd be fun to go to. Holy shit.
Right. I do want to give a shout out though. My Bald Eagles of Lock Haven University won the MAC championship, and they are sending 6 guys to nationals. So it's just kind of one of those cool moments where like you get to see your small little podunk school on national television because ESPN broadcasts it.
Yep.
So like that's always like kind of cool to see like our logo up there and all that stuff, and we send a bunch of people down to support them, obviously.
As someone who didn't really go to college, the only thing I have is anybody getting robbed in the Hack parking lot campus parking lot, and or Cumberland Valley doing something cool. So yeah, I'm usually rooting for Cumberland Valley. That's like my biggest. That's my biggest go-to. Is made it through high school. I did graduate. God damn it.
Steph Facken. I hope I didn't miss it.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I did either. It's kind of crazy it's taking this fucking long to like get that shit over with. What are we doing? UFC this Saturday was a really tough night. Really good fights up to the Pereira fight and including it.
We did not miss it for the record.
You what?
We did not miss it yet. He's still 1 for 2 on 3 points.
Yeah, so Pereira, the guy that I've been talking about a lot and just have become a big fan of. They usually have this thing of like if you don't clearly beat the championship, you're not getting a belt. And like it was kind of iffy, but like he definitely lost, but not really. Like it's one of those ones where like he had one guy had more rushing touchdowns, one guy had passing touchdowns, who's the MVP, and it's like, like what do you want to consider is more important kind of thing. And so it's like one had more takedowns, one had more strikes, one had more significant strikes. Like it just kind of one had more time on top. Like it just the stats were just kind of back and forth.
Sure.
But yeah, he lost, which was kind of crazy. So that kind of ruins the idea of a Pereira John Jones fight because now John Jones is gonna be like, man, he's dog shit. I don't want to fight him. So that kind of kills that.
I don't know who this guy is shooting free throws for the Kings, number 17, but he looks like Travis Kelce.
Yeah, Jonas Valanciunas. He gets called out for that all the time. Yeah, that's a very common
they
thing.
Just showed him, and I was like, Travis?
Jonas Valanciunas. Him and LeBron used to have like lots of beef whenever Jonas played for the Raptors. That was like a big deal. He used to play for the Grizzlies too a long time ago. Yeah, he's a dog though. He's a big dog down there.
Steph, what are we doing?
Where are you at? What's your time?
6:22.
Okay, you're a little bit for me. Ooh. But anyway, yeah. So UFC, that was kind of crazy, but yeah. So it's one where people always clown Dana White for being a potential like closet like racist white loving guy. Like he just always seems to like fanboy over these white guys. But it's weird because like his favorite fighter of all time, and people make memes of it all the time, where it's like, so sorry to hear about the loss of your puppy, and then Dana White chimes into the conversation is like, yeah, I'm sorry about your puppy, but did you know that John Jones is the greatest UFC fighter of all time? Like that's a common meme because Dana White cannot shut the fuck up about how John Jones is the greatest UFC fighter of all time. Like questions out of nowhere, and people were just like, how do you feel today? And he's like, I just woke up thinking John Jones, like every time. And so aside from that, people always kind of clown him for like being this potential closet racist, and now like they're all still, I guess, white guys, but like American pride kind of guy with his Trump ties and stuff.
Okay.
all these Dagestani guys are now belt holders. Like at every weight class, Dagestan has taken over the UFC, and so he's probably like motherfucker. And so like all his white guys, his white proud boys are all fucking losing right now.
His
So
white proud boys.
white proud boys. So yeah, I guess that's a bad term because that's an actual name of a group, and that's not what I meant. And I don't even know the term or what it's for or anything. But I meant like white proud of their nation type guys. But yeah, so that's yeah, and not that there's anything wrong with that, but yeah, it's just this one where like I don't think he's ever really said anything about it. He doesn't give a fuck. He's making money on whoever fights out there.
Right.
He doesn't give a shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just one. It's a Twitter thing where he gets kind of like clowned for being like a potential secret one, but it's obviously not because he fucking sucks John Jones' dick at any time he can. But yeah, so the Dagestanis have tons of belts right now in the UFC. So yeah, and then we have a Volkanovski fight coming up next. Yeah, so UFC is getting hot here in the spring and summer, and then like late fall is when UFC like really like lays into some good shit. So, and John texted me UFC 316 is in New Jersey. So, oh, we have Patty Pimblett. Patty Pimblett fights this week, and then also that dude Bryce Mitchell fights April 12th. That idiot that made all the Nazi comments and then doubled down and talked about the helicopter flying over the earth. I don't know if you saw that. If you haven't, just Google Bryce Mitchell. It'll take you a good 10 or 20 minutes to get through some Bryce Mitchell Twitter videos. Yeah, that's pretty much it for UFC.
You're up like 23 points. Can we just give Steph the ball, please?
He's out here throwing threes for other people. Dog, if you don't hit a fucking three.
Right. So yeah, we had some NASCAR this weekend. You mentioned, I think it was off air beforehand. You're kind of getting into it, or maybe it's the beginning of this episode. But
it was the beginning. We did our little rundown and then talked about football.
Gotcha. Yeah. Oh yeah. Right. You're right. So yeah, NASCAR was in Phoenix this weekend. Christopher Bell wins his third race in a row, which is just absolutely nuts. It does
and
happen
won
every
Phoenix
so
last
often.
year too. I watched that race last year. That's where I went to. I watched him win there last year.
Yeah. So Catherine Legg, first female to run in the Cup Series since Danica did in 2018. Didn't do all that great, and just like kind of caused some controversy just because of her approval process and some people that have been previously disapproved from the series that had like similar resumes or arguably better, and then NASCAR's like, nah, you can't race in here. And then like she comes along and they're just like, yeah, absolutely. So I won't go too much into that. It was just kind of like I see both sides of the coin. Look, I'm a girl dad. I'm happy to have her. I get there. She didn't run well. She wasn't in the best equipment. She did cause some controversy because she caused the first caution. She wrecked on her own, and then she wrecked and took out one of like the top competitors, Daniel Suarez. So. And like that wasn't her fault. She spun and he just ran into her, so it's not like she like hit him or anything like that.
I picked
like,
Suarez this week actually.
So,
yeah, that actually affected me too. Fuck her. She shouldn't be in there.
No, you took him at Coda. You had Ross Chastain this week.
That's right.
So yeah, going to that. News coming before the week, and we didn't get to talk about this on Sunday. NASCAR countersues Michael Jordan and his team and the teams that he goes with because he used, and part of what their lawsuit claims is they had an AI article. So like I don't know,
NASCAR being super sloppy, love it.
Yeah, it's just one of those things like. By all legal accounts that I see, it's kind of like NASCAR just playing a game of like, we're just going to keep suing you and drag this out. And
which if there's anybody that you're not going to do that to, more than likely it's going to be fucking Michael Jordan.
Right.
Like, the dude's got bread on him. Like I think he's still first in like divorce proceedings. Like it's fucking the dude paid out like $250 million and was like, cool, I'm gonna go fuck a 20-year-old, have a good life. Like didn't give a fuck. Like just rolled on by and has continued making money since then, and now does shit that makes him more money and gambles and fishes and all this other shit. So
and then this coming weekend is Vegas, so staying out west, hit up Las Vegas. Should be a good race, mile and a half. See what happens.
It is super funny. I don't want to, not that it's a top secret or that it matters or anything, but it'd be really funny when I reveal to you at the end of the season what my method was for picking drivers this year. Because, like, what do
Ooh.
I know about drivers?
Yeah.
But, like, it's really funny that everyone else has funneled their picks through me because then for some reason they give me, like, a reason. And people are always like, oh, ABC because he's really good on corner tracks, or dude, this guy because he loves driving in the West, or this guy because he loves racing on Saturdays. And I'm like, I picked this dude because of my fucking method, and it has nothing to do with any of that because I don't know any of this shit. So yeah, so it's really funny. Like my mom and Bubba both were like, "Oh, there was also a missing pick. We had to go over that then too." Bubba messaged me one. I don't think I sent it in, or I did, and we missed it.
Okay.
I might have read the message, and then you didn't read it because I read it, and so it took it off of read. I think
Got
is
you.
what happened, or something. But either way, I messaged him, and he was like, "Where am I at in the standings?" He's like, "Are we still doing this?" And I was like, "Yeah." And I was like, "I forgot to text you the link." He was the only one I forgot to send it to. I sent it to him, and he was like, "Wait, I have a missing pick." And I was like, "Did you send it?" And he sent me the screenshot, and I was like, "If you sent it, you're good." I was like, "I have screenshots of every
Yeah.
single thing that anyone sent me," and I was like, "If I forgot to upload it or whatever," I was like, "We'll get it all taken care of." And he was like, "All right, cool." But anyway, but he gave me one of the picks and was like, "This guy, because he's super good on these circuit tracks and whatever." Blah, blah, blah. I was like, "I would never fucking know that." And then my mom came over Sunday for dinner and was like, "Yeah, no, he's really good on these or whatever, and he doesn't like these." And I was like, "What the fuck?" And I was like, "I got some learning to do here."
Yeah. And we talked about it earlier with like different courts and different tracks and stuff. So
Yeah, there's so
there
much. Yeah,
is
yeah. I got
there
a
is
lot to learn,
stuff
but
like
I'm
that.
invested. I'm ready. I'm ready
So
to start learning this.
I'm
Yeah, I'm doing my best. I'll do it slow and steady. And the
yeah,
boys are locked in too. And did I tell you that I told you the NASCAR Heat update, right?
yeah, the games.
Yes, that I
Yeah.
was able to download it. So yeah,
Yep,
so we've
you
been
were.
playing. They're both just like, "Hey, can we play that racing game?" I'm like, "Fuck yeah, dude, let's do
That's awesome.
it."
Yeah, it's my methods kind of back and forth, but I'm trying to make sure I don't use up all the good guys right away. Because like
Right.
there's obviously some
Yeah, you want
guys
to
at the
say
top,
yeah.
but like also I don't want to be too far down in the standings.
Right. That even
So
picking the good guys late, it helps.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah. There's a strategy
yeah.
to it for sure.
So it'll be interesting to see what happens over the
Yeah,
course of the
this is one of
season.
those ones
But
where I could definitely see year to year we pick up a handful more people every year. Like
yeah,
this is one of those ones where in a
I
few
was
years this thing will be 200 plus people and
I
it's
was
gonna
in
be
a
like
league.
holy shit.
I was in a league like this at Lockhaven, and there was 360 people in it, and it
Dude,
was just like people came through the university, and like it was run by this dude in the maintenance department, and you just went through and picked, and he'd do it every week.
yeah, you
Um,
just actually reminded me. I got this thing.
so moving along though, I could not be more excited. Formula One is back this weekend. That finally here, the start of the season. Uh, Last Saturday. Oh, you missed it. Last Saturday.
Oof.
What happened last Saturday? Oh, Drive to Survive was released, so that was like the recap that Netflix does of the last season. Highly suggest just getting into
Yeah,
it.
yeah, I'll take another shot.
It's incredible. It's so well done and like gives you this like eye and like opens the door into the sport of stuff that you just didn't realize was going on during the season. And like I just, as much as I despise Netflix, they do a really good job with documentaries in particular.
I was literally
Um,
gonna say that where I was like, I truly will have to put this recommendation like on the back burner because like I want to watch the NFL version, I want to watch the NBA version,
yeah.
I want to watch the golf version, the full swing
So
thing,
like it
and
all
like if
started
NASCAR
with
has
this.
one, that's what. Yeah, I know. Yeah,
Yeah.
they popped theirs out first, and everyone else was like, "Wait a minute, watch this."
Yeah.
But yeah, so I have every intention of watching it. I just think like this year, like I'm trying to get into NASCAR. I have the Grove. Every race at the Grove, I have on my
Okay.
calendar. I plan on taking the boys. I think this Sunday actually is the first one, and Kaylee like works her long schedule overnight, so she was like, "I'm gonna be napping. You do whatever
Yeah.
that day." So I might run them out there Sunday for like the opening race for the season and shit. But yeah, I will. I'll have to pay attention to that as well.
For what it's worth, the NASCAR does have theirs. It's called Full Speed on Netflix.
Love that. Okay,
It
cool.
comes out in April for last season. So their version is only the last 10 races. They follow the drivers in the playoffs.
That'll still
So
be fun for me to watch, and like the boys will probably watch that with me. Like that's
yeah,
something fun that they would watch.
what's cool about that is like you get to see the drivers because NASCAR isn't one of those sports where you see the
Yeah,
drivers on the court. Like
no.
you probably have no idea what these guys even look like.
If it wasn't for
Like
NASCAR and like Twitter, I would have no idea what anybody fucking looked like. But
right.
yeah, you're right. Like you're thinking more car and color of the car and number.
Yeah,
Like that's
exactly.
the
And like you get to like
identifiers. It's
know
not.
these
Yeah.
guys, and also some
Right.
of them like I'm gonna be a little misogynistic here. Some of them have some smoke show wives.
Oh, I'm
So,
sure.
like,
We watched. I don't know if this is the best parent move ever, but I make some questionable decisions. I let them watch Talladega Nights a couple weeks ago because we were getting
yeah,
ready for racing. And I was like, they'll think this is funny. It's like there was a few scenes where I was like, fuck, forgot that was in this movie. And there was a couple times where I was like, shit, I have to explain that one for sure.
yeah,
One of them was she picks up her shirt and he just goes, please be 18. And they both looked at me and they're like, what did she do? And I said, she goes, hey, Ricky, you can ride me. And they both went, what did she say? And I said, she said, you can drive me. She wants to ride in his car. Like, she wants to take a lap around the race. And she said, you can drive me. And Joe was like, why'd she pick her shirt up? And I was like, she didn't. She just like caught her hand when she was lifting her arms up and was trying to go like, hey, drive me. And they both bought it, I think. But yeah, there was moments like that where I was like, shit.
fair enough. Um, so yeah, and then IndyCar is back next weekend? Question mark. Yeah, not this weekend, but the following one. They're still in California. Um, so they had their first race earlier this month. Now they have the second one. I don't follow IndyCar too closely. I do really enjoy watching them on the ovals though, because like there's
Yeah,
just something about seeing an
whipping
open wheel
around.
car.
Yeah.
It's like NASCAR's cool because like they'll bump and stuff. IndyCar is like you cannot do that. You'll break
No,
shit.
yeah,
And
yeah, yeah.
so it's very much like
And they're so precise. And
yeah,
fucking, yeah,
and they're so
it's,
quick. Like it's just
yeah.
it's a lot of fun to watch them go.
It's
around
like
an oval.
therapeutic to watch them zip around that. That's when
Yeah.
I was looking up IndyCar after we talked about it last week with like the Indy 500 or 400, whatever the fuck it is. I
Five,
like
yeah.
looked that up and I was like, damn, it's actually kind of sick. Like watching some YouTube videos of it, but golf league, golf in general. What a sad,
Yeah.
sad fucking day, dude. Literally, me and Kayla were in the middle of a conversation, and I went, and she was like, what? And I was like, I'm so sorry. And I was like, I didn't mean to lead on. Something was actually wrong. And I was like, it's a sport thing you're not going to care about. And she was like, well, tell me now. And I was like, fucking Tiger tore his Achilles. And I was like, that's like LeBron telling us he has one season left and then tearing his Achilles. And I was
Yeah.
like, we were all just like, win another major, play well, give us a fucking fist bump and a red polo, and have a great career. And now he goes and tears his fucking Achilles. So
Yeah.
like, we could really, really be at a time where we're at the end of Tiger. Like he really could just all of a sudden in the next month or two be like, yeah, I'm done. I'm not coming back. Which is just what a sad day. It's like
Yeah.
we lost Tom Brady a year or two ago, and now we're gonna lose Tiger. Like LeBron's coming. Like yeah, we're getting fucking old, man. It sucks.
Dude, you're not wrong.
Getting old, yeah, we're getting fucking
Not
old.
wrong.
So
Just pull up from the logo. Oh my god.
yeah, fucking just throw it,
Dude.
throw it from there.
Ooh.
But yeah, and then we have TGL playoffs coming up next week on Monday, so that'll be super hype. I'm excited for that.
Yeah.
St. Patrick's Day, we'll be excited. We'll be locked in
Hey,
for
man.
that. But
And
yeah.
the Hershey Bears local team, second in the league right now, first in their conference.
Love that.
Playoffs start next
Killing it.
month
Yeah,
as
we will
well.
definitely be going to some of the playoff games. I'll definitely
So-
take the boys there because we
you
watched
go.
the game. Last year was their back to back. The year before that, I took them to game 5, I think, because that's when we went up 3-2, and then they went back to California and won game 6, and we won 4-2.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I took them there, so like, it was a cool experience. Well, even then, like I took Rayanne too, and she just kind of like she was one. She's not really all the time bought into shit. It kind of takes something to like catch her attention, and like they won, and then like the night after, she texted me and was like, "How do I watch the game against the Firebirds?" And I was like, "Yes!" I was like, "That's the shit I like to hear." She was like, "Well, I mean, we went to the game. I want to make sure they win and like finish the shit that way. Like I know I was a part of like a championship run." I was
Yeah.
like, "Fuck yeah!" It's like that's what I like to hear.
That's cool.
Yeah, so yeah, we got to watch it on some like ghetto ass
Um,
website that was like a high school fucking broadcast, and I was like, "This is what we got." So watch it.
Yeah. So, at the sake of time, I do just want to bring up, though, I experienced my first Globetrotters game this past weekend.
Dude, two
Um,
things. One, I was gonna go, and we ended up talking ourselves out of it in the morning because we just had like other shit going on. Two, you need to tell me when you're in this fucking area. If you're in Harrisburg or Hershey,
So-
I need to know, and I would go with.
Okay,
if you'd
that's
been
fair.
like me and Emmett are going, I'd have been like, dude, let's go. AJ's going. Let's
That's
fucking
exactly
wrap
who
up.
went.
Well, you told me
Um,
that already.
oh,
I did
okay.
that from last Sunday's debacle,
Yeah.
which is why we didn't have an episode last Sunday.
Yes.
I also, too, not even talking about that complete interruption, literally was sitting here watching Twitter videos, playing pub, but I had my phone open, which is why I think I didn't see your
Oh.
shit. So when I was done, I like swiped up and it said like 3 or 4 messages, and I was like, what the fuck? And clicked it, was like, no shot, dude. And I looked and I was like, dude, he sent me a Facebook message and everything. And I was like, that's crazy. Like, I was like, there's no way he's getting on tonight. Like, he's not going to get home until 10:30, 11 o'clock. Like, that's
Yeah.
a wrap. I just started playing pub. And then I swiped up from Twitter and was like, no fucking way, dude. I was like, that's
Yeah.
crazy. But yeah, anyway. So
Um,
anyway,
so
continue.
it was really cool. Like I said, my first ever Globetrotters game. They've literally they're every year they're in Hershey. So
Yeah.
I know I didn't go because neither of my parents gave a fuck about basketball.
Right. Preston took
Um,
me and my dad when I was a little kid, and I think I was like too young. I was like right when I was like starting to care about professional basketball. Like I
yeah,
played in the trailer park, but like couldn't have told you an NBA rule to save
sure.
my life. And like so it was like I don't really like this doesn't do anything for me like these dudes out here. But like now that would be so fucking sick.
Yeah,
I would be so that'd
it's
be so fun.
I was very impressed because it was like super entertaining. It was entertaining to see the difference in age groups because you have those kids that are like 4, 5, 6,
Right.
all the way up to like there's the old folks that have been coming to these games every year
Right,
that
that
are
they
like
or their
feel like they're
grandson
in their
plays on the team
90s.
or whatever. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
they did.
and
They've just been doing this.
yeah, and they're just like everybody's laughing. It's enjoyable. Like it was a really good time. I highly recommend if you have kids. I think yours are probably like a year or two away.
Yeah,
But
probably.
like
I don't know
specifically
because they
Mac
do
is
love
the younger one.
basketball. Yeah, yeah.
Um,
Mac don't give a fuck.
but
Mac's
like
honey
it was
badger.
really
Honey badger
cool.
don't give a fuck.
And then if anybody listens to this and they're like, "Damn, I kind of want to go to a game," do yourself a favor, buy a basketball pregame. Um, it's well worth it because at the end of the game, they literally invite everybody up to sign autographs.
Oh,
You
that's
can get
sick as
any player you want.
fuck. Yeah, that's sick.
They put a rope around the court, invite the entire stadium up, and then the players spread out into like each of their little parts and they say the players are going to stand still, you can go to each one of them and get autographs.
That's so
You can get
sick. Yeah,
autographs, you can get
that's
pictures with them,
badass.
and
Yeah,
like they
that's
just sit there,
super
they're
cool.
talking to people, like signing shit,
Yeah, that's
having
super cool. That's like good
conversations.
media and shit too. Get people
Yeah,
to follow people on social media and stuff. Like, yeah, that's solid to like spread the awareness of the league and
yeah,
everything. Cause like that's sick.
yeah.
Yeah, because like that
It
that's
was
the shit
really
that
cool to
locks
see.
kids in for
Yes,
life. It's like I
exactly.
talked to a professional today. Like
Yeah.
they get to go to school and be like I talked to a pro basketball player, and it's like that dude making $20 an hour. Like that shit, that dude is
Dude,
struggling.
I would.
But
That was one of the things. I'm sitting in the stands and I'm like, okay, how much do we think these guys make? And then second, what's their
like they're not
travel
flying.
schedule
Yeah, they're not
like?
flying on fucking team planes and shit.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, that dude. That's back random real quick before we end. Keon Coleman was on Mello's 7 p.m. in Brooklyn podcast talking about the differences, and it's something that, like I've never really thought about too. Like one of the guys on there made a comment basically where he was like, "Well, like NBA planes, NFL planes," and he was like, "She's like, we ain't got them fucking NBA planes." And Keon Coleman's the Macy's dude with the coats for the
Okay.
Bills. The funny kid that was
Mm-hmm.
like, I get my coats at Macy's.
Mm-hmm.
He was on there, so he's like really like outgoing and funny and like really charismatic. He was talking about it and was just like, yeah, no, we got NFL flights. And he was like, I mean, we got like 20 first class seats. He was like, we don't. It's like he's like the rest of us are sitting out there fucking shoulder to shoulder like bumping, and then they're like joking around the NBA planes. He's like, you guys get to bring like family and stuff. And he was like, you only have what 15 people on a roster. He was like, we got 50. We got to fly around.
Right.
And the other guy was like, what about like the team plane? He was like, what team plane? He was like, the owner has a jet. And he was like, that's not what we fly on though.
Yeah.
And he was like, you mean that big ass jet with like the Bills logo and stuff? He was like, that's what they pick you up in on draft night. And that's what the owner flies around in. He was like, we don't fly in that. That's not big
Yeah.
enough to fit all of us. And it was something I just never really thought about. But like 50 players plus backups plus coaches plus equipment plus like it's got to be like 3 or 4 fucking commercial regular size.
Right.
Like that shit's got to be crazy. Like
Yeah.
that's insane. Like the amount of travel and shit that goes into that. But yeah, so like Keon Coleman was making jokes about it where he was like, yeah, he's like, you guys get that fucking NBA travel money and shit. He's like, you guys' travel schedules are just coochies. He's like, you guys are on private planes and shit all the time.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, we don't fucking have all of that. So, but
All right. Fun fact to wrap us up here.
go to
The only member of the rock band ZZ Top that didn't have a beard was the drummer. His name is Frank Beard. ZZ Top, famously known for their very long beards. Also pretty good music.
I'm really bad at musicians and stuff. Like that's one that I just never gave a fuck about. Like I just never
Yeah.
was one who was like needed to know who was marrying who. Like that's like
Oh.
music usually floats into like the Hollywood world for me. So like I'll listen, but I don't dive into like who's married to who or
Sure.
who looks at what. So like there's a lot of times where I'll see a band for the first time and be like, holy shit, I did not know that was them. New ZZ Top was 2 guys with long beards. If you would have told me that ZZ Top was 3 guys, and other people are probably like, you didn't know Tom Brady played for the Patriots? Like, that's probably
Right.
what I just said. But I had no idea that there was a third. You said the third guy, and I was like, what? Because you said one of them doesn't have a beard, and I was like, it's two dudes with a beard, and which one doesn't have a beard? And I typed in ZZ Top and was like, oh
Yeah.
my God, there's a third dude with no beard. Like, even in
Yeah.
the majority of these pictures, it's just the
It's
two
just
guys
the two
with
of
the
them.
beard.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you said he's the drummer. Okay, so that
Yeah.
does make sense too. Like, he is back a little bit, but it is ironic that his name is Beard and he doesn't have a fucking beard.
Right.
But yeah, that's hilarious. I literally thought ZZ Top was two people, so learned something new today. Yeah, Dusty Hill and Billy Gibbons. I thought it was those two. Oh, Dusty Hill died.
He did, yeah.
4 years ago. Damn.
Yep.
Cool. All right, ZZ Top Radio for Friday tomorrow.
There you go. All right, that wraps us up for this Friday edition, filmed on Thursday night. For the record, Steph still has not hit his second three-pointer. I guess the Kings kind of have him on lock right now for the first half. They're at halftime now, so we'll wrap that up.
The Kings have been clowned too many times by LeBron hitting in milestones in their arena. And so
Yeah.
they're just like, we don't want to be on another fucking YouTube compilation. Please don't let Steph hit this three.
Yeah, and then the other game we discussed,
Michigan.
Yeah, well, the winner plays Michigan. Purdue
Yeah,
and
USC.
USC right now, they are tied 71-71 with 27 seconds left. So I'm getting ready to turn that game back on now that we're at halftime. And ooh,
When was it?
ooh, it's on the Big Ten Network if you're trying to look for it.
What is that on? How the fuck do I find that?
It's a channel. Big Ten Network. I don't know.
I thought it was like a streaming thing. It should be on YouTube.
I mean, it is a streaming thing, but Big Ten channel is also Big Ten Network is also its own channel, like the ACC Network, SEC Network,
Interesting.
Big Ten Network.
Better be fucking included.
So this game's tied 71-71 with 27 seconds left. So we won't have the results of that game yet, but you can check it out tomorrow. We will hopefully catch you Sunday evening. Like and subscribe. And,
Yeah, we'll be here. I won't be playing pub, and you'll be dealing with Lily. Damn kid.
Yeah, I should be home all day Sunday.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
So.
I literally read that to John and Kaylee, and they both went, "Oh, I thought she was such a good kid." I was like, "Dude, she's got to be so pissed." I was like,
I mean, she is, for the record.
She is
but,
very much so. That's why we all were like, "Oh, that's kind of out of character." And I was like, "I know he's mad as hell." That's why I was like, "There's no way he's recording." I was like, "I'm fucking playing pub."
It was one of those moments where you're just like, I just want to be home.
Yeah. And not only that, but it's like, I have 2 hours ahead of me. Like, it'd be different if you had a 20-minute drive home, and it's like she got home late. It's 11:30. It's whatever. Like, you'd be like, her getting home at midnight and you having a 20-minute drive home is not as bad as her getting home at 9 and you having a 2-hour drive home. Like, getting home at 11 with a 2-hour drive is not as bad as getting home at 12 with a 20-minute drive. Like, there's just something about that where you're like already after the day, and plus you watch the whole fucking Globetrotters game and shit, and so like,
I think what kept me up was I put the NASCAR race on, so I was pretty invested in that because I didn't watch it live, so I was watching a thing of it, and so, he's pissed.
Yeah, he's big, man.
All right, so yeah, have a great weekend.
GGs.
We'll catch up Sunday and see what goes on. Appreciate y'all.
Like and subscribe.